Heidi ho! Wild hair, wild Florida. Dirt on the fingers. We're in the garden working. And yesterday I did a video unpacking a box of plants that I got. And it's the first time I did lantana cuttings. And I'm on a learning curve. And I thought maybe I'd make a video to help others so they could be ahead of the learning curve instead of learning like I have. So I'm going to get my ugly face off and turn the camera and see a little bit of what's going on. So I got them in bundles yesterday. They came wrapped up in this paper in a bag in the box, which is right there. And when I opened them, this is the mess I see. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do with that? And look, and I'm like, do you make cuttings out of the leaves? And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I mean, is it like a violet? And then you get some, which were more like what I expected. I don't know if I got any pieces here left. Well, kind of like that. But you can see a better example here. You can see I was expecting more like that, and in fact I was expecting them to be bigger, like a couple of inches, and instead I'm getting these little inch-long things, and I'm getting these pieces. Well, it turns out that lantanas, and I guess other plants, but lantanas are exceptionally susceptible to ethylene, which is a gas that plants produce. You know, that whole taking the carbon dioxide, I don't know, whatever it is that we breathe out, they take that out of the air and they utilize it, and the byproduct is this ethylene. And apparently lantanas are extremely sensitive to it. And what lantanas do when they are exposed to it is they drop their leaves and they make a mess. So the growers, they attempt to ship you the plants within 24 hours, but when you are like me and you live in the sticks, literally, you know, the plants don't come till 5 o'clock at night, which, I mean, it was 24 hours, but they were probably more in the box about 48 hours because the people had to pack them. And I didn't get to them at 5 o'clock at night. I got to them the next day, and even opening the first pack, this is what I was seeing. So I did not know any of that. The grower was kind enough to teach me that. But I'm like, what do I do? Well, I come to find out that lantanas are kind of a challenge to grow this way. You know, the cutting and the shipping and all that. It's kind of hard. And they're moody. And I didn't know that. I work with begonias, and begonias are so easy to get along with. So they're like, oh, you got to mist them like every 30 minutes or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a mister. No, there's no high tech here anywhere. It's a garden out in Florida, and I'm broke like most people, and I don't have a mister, and I don't have fancy heat pads, and I don't have anything. I mean, I got a hose. Where's my hose? There it is. Here's how we water plants here in the nursery. So if you're like me, you're going to struggle too, and your plants are going to struggle, and that's what it is. And the fault is mine because I didn't educate myself sooner. So that's my fault. I don't blame the grower for that. That's me. But the grower is responsible for getting it to me without it falling off in the first 24 hours. That's kind of their fault. I guess there's ethylene blocks that they can put in there. Maybe a different way of packing. Certainly making sure it gets to me in less than 24 hours. So there's some things that they could do and adjust to make it better. But meanwhile, I'm stuck with 1,000 lantana cuttings that are, where are, oh yeah, they look like this. Now, if you look close, there's a node here and a node there. So this still has nodes. Generally, they told me they like to ship it with 2 leaves here, and the 2 tiny leaves there, which they did. But this ethylene process caused all these leaves to fall and caused this problem. And these leaves aren't like violet leaves. I can't make these grow. They're pretty much zombie leaves or trash. So, but I got to do my part to try to resolve some of this, because some of it is also my fault for letting them sit overnight and not unpacking them right away. So I have responsibility too. But I went back to my stepfather, who was a gardener, and he had a big, huge garden in New Jersey and grew all kinds of stuff, including a huge corn patch, strawberry, blackberry, raspberry, and of course the regular green beans, peas, and all that stuff. And he would get the Burpee catalog every spring, and he'd go through and he'd mark what he'd want and order his seeds, and he would start his seeds. And I remember that he used to do this. So now he had the regular jiffy pots or whatever they call those. So I mean, he had stuff, and he would saran wrap it or tin it somehow and grow his little seeds that way. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm trying it. So this is what I'm doing. I am taking, I took these boxes, the first half of the box down here, I literally have taken the leaves off the ground as a filler. I took my potting mix, and I did mix fertilizer in it. I did mix some gravel in it, because I've been having some problems with it compacting on my other plants, so I wanted to try something different this time. Some of it, I added some sand to it, so it's kind of a mixture here, and it's no fancy formula or anything like that. Fertilizer this time, I am utilizing, let's see what I got over here. I am using this, and this is the first time I've used it. I got it because it was cheap and it was in bulk, and I needed a large bag of something. So this is what it comes looking like. Ooh, it's wet. So I mixed it into my big pot here, and this time around, the store wound up with a mistake, and they gave me this, and that's all right. I'll give it a try. I've never had it before. There is some Miracle Grow Moisture Plus mixed in here. So there's a bunch of different things in my little barrel there. So now that I've got my boxes for free from Dollar General dump outside their store, I put the leaves in halfway, and then I filled the rest with my soil, and I wetted it really good. I set it on, these are just lids that you get from Rubbermaid tubs and whatever. You know how you always wind up with extra lids and you don't know where they came from. And they don't match any of the tubs you have. So I got a bunch. There they are. And I've turned them like this so they'll kind of hold some water for me. And my intent is that maybe I can bottom water. If nothing else, it'll help when I go to move the boxes. I know the bottom of the box is going to fall, and at least my tray will be there to help me out a little bit with that. So now I got it all worked up, and I've taken, I do my famous make a hole with the finger. I find one that has the nodes, and this one happens to still have a surviving leaf, and I'm planting it. And that's what I did. Now, on this bunch over here, I didn't know, and I didn't realize. I took off, these came in pretty good. This, what was it? No, Pinky came in pretty good. And so I actually took the 2 bottom leaves off because I didn't know any better. I mean, that's kind of how we do things. And I dipped them in my little honey, which I had put in a cup. So the tip end, I didn't cut it or anything, but I did pull the leaves, and I put it in here, and we'll see how that goes. So I did a couple with honey. These ones over here do not have the honey. I was told by the grower it wasn't necessary. They don't use rooting hormones. So I'm trying some of it without, and we'll see how that goes. But again, I just made my little hole and put my nodes in, my little stem piece in. And really, I'm pretty sure they got these from cutting the lantana, because you're supposed to pinch it when it's growing. So, and I can show you out here in the garden, really these, I haven't pinched any of these. So normally, a grower, see how this is going to get, it's going to get tall and lanky. So a grower would pinch right here, let's do this one, literally, and take it off like that. And see, it's got the 2 leaves, 4 leaves. So the grower that shipped me, this is what they were intending to ship me. Didn't come out that way because of the ethylene and the way they were packed and the way they were shipped, and being confined without enough gas exchange. So that ethylene gas got too high in the packaging. But this is what they intended to send me, and this you can actually just take it and stick it back down in the dirt and grow it. Obviously, these are going to struggle a little bit because that's not what they got going on. You know, their 4 pieces are just all off their leaves. It's a mess. But we're going to try to rehab it. We're going to try to salvage it. So we're putting it in. See, another leaf just falls off that easy. But I'm going to make it like that. And then I did label them. And I have done this. So now, knowing that they don't want to be real tight with gas, I have left breathing holes. My goal with this saran wrap, going back to my stepfather and watching him grow plants, is to create humidity and keep it moist. But of course, I don't want it so moist it gets fungusy, and that's a risk. Now, I know my stepfather would take toothpicks and he'd kind of strategically put them in to hold the saran wrap up. These boxes are good that way. I don't have a problem with that. But these pots, I probably got to take a little dirt out to make these pots work better. But anyways, you can see the humidity is in there. And really, these are looking good. Yesterday, when I had these out and I was working with them, I had them all potted up. I went in the house. I watched an hour-long show. I came back out. And oh my goodness, they were all wilted and dried up. And the leaves were looking horrible. So, and you can kind of see, even right there, you can see those leaves are looking really sad. And that's from yesterday. So, we'll see what the saran wrap does. Was my stepfather onto something? I don't know. But I'm trying to salvage a bad situation. And with any luck, they'll grow. And I don't have a heat mat, so I've been told they'll grow slow. Hope not, but that's what I'm told. I guess normal people put heat mats under the seedlings. I don't have that. Like I said, I am in the middle of nowhere, and I'm broke. I am in the process of divorce, so you know there's no money, and I'm trying to do this for a living. I got a little boy that I'm trying to take care of and raise, and I'm just doing the best I can. And so we're doing it here with the lantanas in the little weird situation I got going on. I've only done 500. I still have another 500 to go. And I have some Sinbad begonias to go. We'll see how they do. I'm sure they'll do fine. They're pretty plants. So I'm sure they'll do okay. I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll try to update everybody in about 2 weeks. We'll see if I can get any of these to root and see if my crazy plan for my stepfather growing up as a child, if it'll save this situation or not. If you have ideas on what I can do or what I should do in the future, drop it down in the comments. I think this is a good topic to talk about. Diane'sPlants, sunny Florida, but today it's kind of a gloomy Florida, but that's okay. We need rain. It's spring for us, and we're growing, and we're trying to grow. Hope you have good gardening fun. Dirty fingernail time. Bye.